Hi Engineering Janta, I am Vaibhav Shukla and today we'll be discussing something very important because we are in the last leg of TCS NQT and henceforth go ahead, tell me in the comments section, in the chat section that whether I am audible and visible to you clearly, and then we'll begin. So if I am audible and visible to you, go ahead, tell me. Just drop a yes in the live chat section. Drop a yes in the chat section and that would be enough, and then we'll be talking about the exam strategy, about the time management and a lot of important stuff for you. But go ahead, first of all tell me whether I am visible or audible. Great, perfect. So thank you, thanks everybody for telling me. Now let's begin with today's session, but before I begin with it, it's important to tell you that I'm not in my peak health condition, and henceforth if somewhere I commit some mistake or some error, just pardon me, okay? So let's go ahead, let's understand about the TCS exam strategy. And for all those who directly want to connect to me, who want to text me, who want to get your doubts cleared, either you drop your comments in the comment section. I will take the doubts after I complete this session in the live itself. Fine, I'll give you the last 15-20 minutes, don't worry. Alongside that, if you do not get the chance there, then you can connect to our team, or you can go ahead, follow me on the Instagram now. I am live on Instagram and there I'll be directly getting to interact with you. Shuklaji Speaks is my handle. You guys can go ahead and follow it. Now, let's go ahead, and before I dive in deep, follow the social media handles so that you never miss any update from our side. Fine. So chalo, सीधा चलते हैं आगे, and the first thing that is super important, the first exam tip or the strategy that you should follow while attempting the exam. Fine, because most of the focus today of the conversation would be what exactly you should do inside the exam hall and around the exam. Fine. So we are in the last leg of it, so we'll be discussing according to that only. Fine. So first thing is easy questions first. Be it foundation section, be it advanced sections, you do not have the luxury of section switching. You cannot go to advanced section first and then appear for the foundation section. You cannot do that. But for the advanced section, when you are attempting a subsection like numerical ability, you can switch the questions inside it. You cannot switch numerical and verbal. You cannot even do the subsection switching. वो भी allowed नहीं है. But what you can do is you can switch the questions. So prioritize easy questions first. This is very important. Easy questions को पकड़ो, prioritize them. Then don't get stuck on a single question. एक क्वेश्चन पे बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम खराब करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. फाइन. इफ फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी और इन क्वांट्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल देर इज अ क्वेश्चन दैट इज very lengthy and it's taking 3 to 4 minutes. Is it worth spending 3 to 4 minutes initially on that particular question? Absolutely not. बिल्कुल भी नहीं. Later on, in the second iteration, when you are revising the questions or when you are visiting the questions that you left at that point of time, you can do that. I'll tell you how to do that as well. Don't worry. But don't get stuck on a single question for too long. Just see the time clock. If you're taking more than 1 minute on a question, go ahead. Switch. Agle pe chalo. Fine. This will help you build confidence and it would save time for more challenging questions later. For example, in numerical ability, you had 25 questions. Fine. And for these 25 questions, you had 25 minutes. Now, say that there was some fifth question on which a lot of time you were spending, more than 1 minute, you spent 1.5 minutes, and you felt it's not good, so you left it and went further. Now, if you follow this pattern and you keep on going further, so some questions would be there which you will solve in 30 seconds, 20 seconds. That would save a lot of time. So if anyhow you complete around 22 to 23 questions in some 17 to 18 minutes, now for two questions, two leftover questions, if you see, fine, because you have done some 22 to 23 questions, fine. So 2 to 3 questions, leftover questions would be there, and you still have 7 minutes or 8 minutes at your hand. If you have that much time at your hand, you can easily crack things. Fine. If 7 to 8 minutes you have at your disposal, enough to do those questions. You will have ample amount of time. So time management बहुत important है. Fine. How will you manage this? Keep on picking the easy questions first. First iteration, when you're going through the exam, straight away keep on going through the easy questions. Once you reach the last question of the subsection, then visit the questions that have not have been attempted. I'll show you what exactly I'm talking about. So the second is the same thing only, skip and return method. This is called skip and return method. What is this method saying? What you exactly have to do is, if you find any question too time consuming, if you find that this is very time consuming question for me, what you should do is skip it and move on. Fine. For example, question number 5, you found this was difficult. Fine. All you need to do is move on. Fine. Skip and move on. Simple. Once you've done this, mark it for review. There you will have this option. Fine. So you can do this. Mark it for review. Once you mark it for review, this will help you out. You'll know that this particular question, I have spent some time. I know what exactly this question is talking about, but I cannot afford spending a lot of time on it right now because it's seeming difficult to me. So later on, I'll visit it. Fine. Once you've marked it for review and you've completed all the questions for the first iteration, for example, from 1 to 25, you've gone through all the questions and it's approximately 17-18 minutes and you had 4 or 5 questions which you couldn't answer or you found difficult. At that point of time, come back once you've answered the easier questions. So once you've done the easier questions, come back. Now it's time to return. Skip, you have done here. Now it's time to return back. Return back to those questions. Spend some time reading it. Read it carefully. वक्त लगाओ सही से उसे पढ़ने में. A lot of times you miss some facts which are essential and henceforth you find the questions difficult. So वहाँ पर you will be helped. That's all you need to do in the skip and return method. Fine. Now, if I go further, then it is essential that you practice mock tests under time constraints. When the things are timed, you need to be specific about how efficient are you in the timed manner. Fine. For example, even if you are attempting some mock, simulate exam conditions. How do you do this? There are 2 ways. एक तो है Prepinsta Prime. I have told you enough about it. आप जाके purchase करना चाहो कर सकते हो. It is a subscription based model. Shukla 10 would help you financially. This code is mine. This would help you out. That is a separate story. But to simulate exam conditions, the first thing is you should see some TCS specific platform that offers you such preparation. अब I always say कि free में भी धूमधाम से तैयारी होती है. So अगर मैं free में नहीं बताऊंगा तो that would be an issue. So I would tell you, don't worry, वो भी बताता हूँ. Simple है. What you should do is prepare a mock for yourself where numerical ability 25 questions. What you can do is you simply go to my syllabus and test patterns video. Fine. And Prashant, if you and Subiksha is moderating this, please help me out. Go ahead, pull out the TCS syllabus and test pattern and preparation strategy. These 2 videos I have made. These are very recent videos. I request you, please take the link of that and paste it in the live section. So in the live chat section very soon, students, you will be getting that from our support team, and they are some incredible guys and they'll very soon bring those links, and later on you can check those links out. So there you will find the exact test pattern, that how many questions are there in which subject. Fine. So in a Word file, what you can do is you collect previous year questions, make 25 questions according to the pattern of numerical ability, then verbal ability, then advanced coding, everything like that. Fine. Foundation, advanced section, खुद से exam paper set करो अपने लिए. Fine. Once you set that exam, then appear for that exam in a timed manner. Give yourself only 25 minutes for numerical ability, only 25 minutes for verbal ability. Fine. Accordingly, वो proper paper pattern बनाओ accordingly. Fine. So this would help you in 2 things. When you take it in prescribed time, one is you will know your efficiency. Second is it will help you develop a rhythm. When you will solve the first test, you will find that you cannot attempt 25 questions in 25 minutes. You will be missing out on some questions. But by the time you are doing second or third mock, you would have developed that rhythm. के third mock तक आते आते you will solve all the 25 questions in shorter time. I might be surprised that a lot of students who do not try this, fine, they might feel that they can do it, but later on, I was surprised earlier when I used to hear these stories that they were super good students, the intelligent students, and henceforth they were expecting themselves to clear the rounds, but they couldn't. See, they pulled out the video links. Go ahead, it's in the live chat section. Thank you guys, thank you so much. Like always, my CSM team is one team that is exceptional in their work, fine, every time pinpointed, even better than me at times, fine. So you should thank them as well. But apart from that, if you develop a rhythm, that is super important, because a lot of intelligent students, as I was telling you, they were expecting themselves to clear it, but they couldn't because they didn't have that rhythm. Henceforth, they missed some questions in the exam. So there, you should be super good, super fluent while appearing the questions, while preparing for the questions. You should be mentally ready कि एक rhythm आया हुआ है to solve 25 questions in 20-22 minutes. That would help you. Fine. This would also give you a sense of how you perform in each section. Basically, you know what exactly is your weakness, where you should devote more time now. Fine. So this would help you there. Now, keep track of your time. Make a habit. Make a habit of checking the time at regular intervals. अब क्या होता है? In the upper portion, there is a clock. For example, 0, 1, 54, like this. There is some clock that is running on the screen. Fine. After every 2 or 3 questions, keep a check on clock. I personally suggest after every 3 questions, do this. Every 3 to 4 questions you attempt, go ahead, check the clock, check how much time you're spending. Fine. Check that. How much time you're spending on every section, how much time you're spending on every question. That would help you track your performance, what exactly you need to do in the real time exam. Asli exam maybe when you're tracking the time now, you know what exactly to pivot, where exactly to focus more, or do you need to increase your speed or do you need to decrease your speed. ये सब पता चलता है इस clock से. Fine. So be very, very particular with this clock. This will help you stay on track and this would prevent you running out from time. Fine. For example, it's 20 minutes and you have just attempted some 16 questions. Fine. When you are in this stage, now you know that you have done just 16 questions. You need to improvise. You need to solve 9 questions in 5 minutes. So at that time, don't panic. Just plan carefully that I have to spend around 30 seconds. Now you know your time limit. Fine. So that would help you out. And guys, I'll take your doubts once I complete this. Don't worry, सारे doubts लूँगा, but do not spam. Any message that comes more than twice, I would not see that message. I would not reply on that. Simple. ठीक है? Now, so if last but not the least, keep your nerves in check as I told you. Nervous नहीं होना है. ठीक है? Even if the exam is not as per your expectations, अगर difficult भी है तो क्या हुआ? Even if it is difficult, this is not end of the life. Fine. Exam है, just treat it like that. 10 अच्छी कंपनियां और आ जाएंगी, ये सोच लेना. ठीक है? कुंभ का मेला नहीं है, नेक्स्ट ईयर फिर आ जाएगा. कभी भी do not make a single exam your life. Never. कभी मत करना है काम. ठीक है? Who knows? क्या पता तुम TCS में अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं करे, but you might land up in Amazon or Adobe. Who knows? Fine. So do not think that this is the last exam on earth. ऐसा मत सोचना. Fine. And always feel that a calm mind works more efficiently. So just keep yourself calm. Reflection देखी है कभी लेक में, जब when you have lake water which is still, then only you can see your reflection. Once you go to turbulent waters of rivers, you will never see your reflection in that. Fine. So you need that calmness to see everything clearly, to see everything objectively and perform accordingly. Fine. So keep in mind, calmness is super important and you should behave in a very calm manner. Don't panic at all, even if you are running short of time. कोई जरूरत नहीं पैनिक करने की. अरे चला गया क्वेश्चन, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. ठीक है? If you feel stressed, take a few deep breaths. थोड़ा सांस लो आराम से, refocus करो. Fine. कुछ नहीं हुआ है. So in that case, more you have to focus on your breathing, your nerves, your adrenaline. बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं जाना चाहिए. Just stay put. Fine. So there is one very famous poem of Ramdhari Singh Dinkar that I always quote, Rashmi Rathi. Fine. So there is one very famous couplet of it, and that I'll share with you, which inspires me every time I appear for any exam, and that is, सच है विपत्ति जब आती है, कायर को ही दहलाती है, शूरमा नहीं विचलित होते, क्षण एक नहीं धीरज खोते, विघ्नों को गले लगाते हैं, कांटों में राह बनाते हैं, which basically means that when some difficulty, some odd time comes, it only troubles the people who are not capable enough. To all the people who are ready to not give up, they are sailing smoothly in that, they keep their mind calm and they naturally perform better. Fine. They at times, they make their way even when there are hundreds of thorns in their way. Fine. So just feel that and just appear calmly. Don't worry. सब अच्छा होगा. Fine. You have been preparing with me, you have been preparing with us. सब बढ़िया होगा. टेंशन मत लो. All you need to do is keep yourself on track. Distract मत होना. मेहनत करते रहना. चीजें बहुत आसान होंगी. Fine. So that's pretty much. And now after this video ends, keep your doubts ready. You can put that in the comment section later on as well. Right now in the live also I'll be taking up doubts. Don't worry. So top 3 comments might stand a chance to win Prep Insta Prime subscription for free for 3 months. So go ahead, try your luck there as well. But that's pretty much. और अब आपके doubts का time है. So let's go ahead and I'm starting from the first doubt. So there is one person, I have solved top 100 codes of Prep Insta. Is it enough or I have to solve many problems? अर्पण, कोई जरूरत नहीं बहुत ज़्यादा problem solve करने की. I'll help you out with this. Look, if you're feeling that you're somebody who wants to prepare for Prime profile of TCS NQT, top 150 not out Prep Insta, ये search कर लो. Please put the link in the chat section, support team, that would help me out a lot, and students as well. So you simply click on this link and this is free of cost. Just 150 questions. Fine, just 150 questions, and you need not do 300, 400, 500 problems of lead code. अगर ये 150 कर लिए, अर्पण, believe me, in this world, any company, you will crack any company, and you have solutions in your favorite language here. In this list, you have multiple approaches to solve a question. So this list is of immense benefit. You can check it out. Fine. So Prasanna Muralidharan, yes, Prasanna, we can provide, but for that you have to enroll yourself. As simple as that. Fine. If you're facing some financial difficulty, you can use the coupon code Shukla10. Fine. Yes, Vikraman, I would give the free subscription if you comment in the video, but that is on luck based. Fine. So that is kind of a lottery system. Top 3 comments stand a chance to win it. Fine. Okay, so one person has asked, sir, exam date will be given based on registration date or initial letter wise. So it would be generally given on the basis of registration date. Accordingly, the batches would be passed. It is a random allocation, so you might have any day after 15th or on 15th. So you have this top 150 not out link in the chat section. Top 150 not out Prep Insta link in the chat section is available, Arpan. You can go ahead, check this out. Fine. So go ahead, send me your doubts and I'll be solving them. And if there are no more doubts, then we can wrap this up. Go ahead. Difficulty level of aptitude and reasoning. Okay. So if you've been watching us regularly, then let me tell you that Anvesh, aptitude in the foundation section. Fine. In the foundation section, it is easy to moderate. Fine. Easy to moderate. But in advanced section, fine. In advanced section, it is very difficult. So I would keep it in the same category. You might be very good at aptitude, so you might not find it very difficult, but generally people consider it difficult. Fine. Supriya, when will admit card be released? Very soon, in 12, 13 or 14 you can expect somewhere. RN Chandra, sir, I didn't started yet preparation for TCS NQT. RN, बहुत दिक्कत हो गई भाई, ये तो बहुत लेट हो गए तुम. But look, apart from this is all just a kind of joke. RN, believe me, अब भी टाइम है, पढ़ाई करोगे हो जाएगा. बस you need to put more effort. For that, first thing you should do is Prime पे जाओ, सीधा enroll करो, पूरा कोर्स end to end पढ़ दो. ठीक है, दैट वुड हेल्प यू आउट बिकॉज दैट इज द फास्टेस्ट वे यू कैन डू थिंग्स. अदरवाइज टॉप 100 कोड्स पकड़ो, सॉल्व कर दो, प्रीवियस ईयर्स उठाओ, सिर्फ वो सॉल्व करो, इससे ज्यादा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं आ रहा है. एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू कैन नॉट डू मोर देन दिस. फाइन. Srinit Ajasti, sir, I want to practice coding for TCS. Shall I practice with top 100 codes or top 150 not out? I would suggest you one thing. Look, do 2 problems from top 100 codes, do 1 problem from top 150. इतना हो जाएगा. 3 problems a day. That's easy. Okay, Srinita? Do 2 problems from top 100 codes, do 1 problem from top 150. Fine. That would help you out. Good evening, sir. Is it enough to solve 150 questions too? If you solve this list, I'm not saying 150 questions, I'm saying if you solve only this particular list of 150 questions, fine. कोई भी random 150 questions नहीं, these 150 questions, because this top 150 not out is not just questions, they are 150 patterns which are asked, and all the new patterns are formed out of these 150. So if you know them, you can solve any question on earth. If you know them on your fingernails, believe me, Microsoft बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, बहुत आसान कंपनी है. इफ यू नो दीज 150 क्वेश्चंस, ठीक है. सो टीसीएस तो आपको पता ही है, फिर टीसीएस तो ऐसे कर दोगे. ओके. गुड इवनिंग जानवी. वरुण, सर, मास्टरिंग फ्यू टॉपिक्स वर्सेस लर्निंग ऑल टॉपिक्स फॉर एप्टीट्यूड. इफ यू आर स्टार्टिंग नाउ, वरुण, please go for high value topics, high return on investment topics. Do not fall for all the topics now, but I would sincerely suggest you that if you can try covering them as much as possible, because ऐसा होता है जो छोड़ के जाओगे ना, पेपर में भी छूट ही जाएगा. ठीक है, पेपर में भी अटेम्प्ट नहीं कर पाओगे. सो फॉर दैट आई एम टेलिंग यू, yes, it does provide free mock test for preparation, but that would be just one, so that is not of much use. I would say you go ahead and you enroll into Prime if you want all the mock tests, full length mock tests. Fine. So Varun, I would suggest you master all the topics that are high return on investment topics. Fine. Go ahead. So is it enough? No doubts? So I guess there are no more doubts, no issues, guys. Then we can wrap it up. But I'll always suggest you one thing, जो मैं हमेशा बोलता आया हूँ. Do not consider that failure is not an option. Failure is an option. कुछ नहीं होता, बस 100% देना is important. ये मत करना कि 100% भी नहीं दिया. ठीक है, अपनी नज़रों में सही रहना, खुद से 100% देना, बाकी लीव इट टू द गॉड, सब मैनेज हो जाएगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. ठीक है. सर, प्राइम की डिफिकल्टी लेवल क्या होता है? अथर्व, if you're asking about TCS Prime, it is difficult. For that only I'm telling you, for coding, solve this 150 list so that you do not face any problem even in the interview rounds if DSA is asked. Fine. So it is difficult. Advanced sections में बहुत अच्छे marks चाहिए. Prepare, yes Aryan, you can prepare, but फिर ये मान के चलो भाई 6-7 hours daily. ठीक है, and that too ultra focused, very efficiently, and then you might find yourself in digital or Prime, but you'll require extra hard work. Tips for practicing verbal ability, go to prepinsta.com. free quizzes are available here. 10 days Prime. If Prepinsta Prime is available for 10 days, I don't know if it's available for 10 days, but right now TCS NQT 10 days crash course is going on. You can go ahead for that. You can enroll in this. Fine. That would help you out. All you need to do is put the code Shukla 10, sorted, asan. Fine. But remember this, try your best, अपना बेस्ट दे के आओ एग्जाम में. Even if you do not qualify, फील के एक्सपीरियंस तो आया, उस एक्सपीरियंस से सीख लेंगे, अगले पेपर में अच्छा करेंगे. ठीक है. पाइथन इज ओके फॉर इंटरव्यू राउंड और जनरली पाइथन इज ओके, इतना कोई बड़ा इशू नहीं है, डोंट वरी. अब CPP सीखने मत बैठना, इट इज़ वेरी लेस टाइम. डो नॉट गो अहेड एंड ट्राई लर्निंग CPP राइट नाउ. फाइन. सो आई गेस दैट्स प्रीटी मच. Let's wrap it up and have a wonderful day ahead, guys. Keep preparing, keep working hard. All the best. That's all.